What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and the stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. I will keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis. Also, thanks so much for hitting the like button for us down below. I want to say happy Memorial Day weekend to each and every one of you guys. Let me know what you're doing here for Memorial Day weekend. We're just hanging out with some family. We're going to be doing some cooking out here in the backyard and having a few people over, playing some cornhole. If you know what that is, you kind of throw like a bean bag into kind of like a board where you try to get it in the hole. Hanging out with some family, cooking out some hot dogs, hamburgers, and letting Julian run around, having a couple of his friends come over. So it will be, a good time. But, as we're headed into the Memorial Day weekend, gas prices for the holiday weekend are at a record high here, the highest they have ever been in the history of the United States and the entire world. You can see here gas prices in the US hit record high of $4.60 on average in the United States, just in time for the Memorial Day weekend getaway. Of course, you see this sign here of $6.28 for regular gas in California. California is a whole different beast. God bless you if you're having to pay $6.28 for regular in California because, ouch, yeah, that's a lot of money. You can see here the regular national average gas prices here in the United States at $4.60 a gallon here in the United States. Diesel at 5.52, 5.53 a gallon. Yeah, this is a nightmare. This is an absolute nightmare. You can see here 4.60 a gallon here for regular is the highest we have seen here. Yeah, 4.60 a gallon here. And yeah, diesel almost at a record high, within a few pennies here of a record high here for the United States here. It's just unbelievable. You can see here the price of oil here has started to drift up a little bit here. We were at around 110, a little bit higher here. We've drifted up a little bit to 115 and almost 120 a barrel here. So gas has started to drift, or I'm sorry, oil, the price of oil per barrel has started to drift up here a little bit as well. So, these gas companies, BP, Shell, Exxon, um, they're just taking every opportunity to charge us as much as they want, as much as they want. And you could see the prices here for California, $6.10 a gallon for regular gas. Ouch. And diesel, $6.60 a gallon. And remember, diesel prices are what affects our food and our goods and everything at the grocery store because that's how everything, semi trucks transport all of our goods, all of our food, everything. So the price of diesel does affect, our food and everything else. And this is part of the reason why food prices are at an all-time high as well in the United States and across the globe. So, yeah, this is these prices in California are insane. California gas prices are higher because they have higher gas taxes and a different blend of gas there to help keep emissions down and smog down in California. So all of these are kind of leading to higher inflation and leading to more calls for inflation relief or stimulus checks relief. We have seen so many different states here kind of step up to the plate and give back to their residents here. We have at least kind of a dozen states now that have given back stimulus checks, tax relief checks, or tax rebate checks. And even California has another proposal here to give back to their residents. If you've been watching my channel, I'm trying to keep you up to date here with as many states that are passing back, stimulus checks or tax rebate checks here. Um, I just did a really big video here just in the last day or two going through as many states that have already passed stimulus checks or tax rebate checks. California is currently in a little bit of a battle amongst themselves for their own kind of stimulus checks that they want to send back, which would be currently the current two proposals are $400 stimulus checks per car owner, a maximum of $800 per person. So if you own two cars, you could get two checks, and or $200 per person, including $200 per child. So it would be slightly different there. So if you have multiple children, you can get $200 per child or $400 per car. Governor Gavin Newsom says that the $400 per car would go out faster because the $200 per person or per child would have to go through the California Tax Bureau system, and they're currently behind right now because of tax season. So remember, think about how far behind the IRS is right now. Well, states are really far behind as well. Remember, California is just a massive, massive state. And last year, when they sent out their stimulus checks, which were $600 actually, and if you had a child, you could actually get an additional $500 for a total of $1,100. Or if you were married, you could get $600 and $600, $1,200. So it was like 27 million people that got them last year. In fact, they're actually still sending some of them out because some people who didn't get their checks or moved, or believe it or not, they're actually still sending some of them out here still in 2022. Not very many, but a few of them are still going out here this year. But yeah, they sent out like 27 million. So some of these states that are sending out stimulus checks now or tax rebate checks, they might go out to like 500,000 or a million, or some of the larger states like 3 million, 4 million. Well, California sent out last year 27 million. That shows you how large California is. So, but the problem with California right now is, and we hear this a lot about our own governments or our own states, is that they're having a problem deciding what to do and what to pass. So that's kind of where California is at right now. But will we see gas go higher, lower? What do you think? Check this out.
From transports now to energy, a big week for that sector, up 8%, outperforming the broader market. This comes as gas prices hit a record high of $4.60 a gallon as we head into Memorial Day weekend. A year ago, a gallon of gas was $3. Joining us now, Tom Closa, Opus Global Head of Energy Analysis. It's nice to see you. Welcome back.
Hey, nice to be here.
You know, I'm looking at the notes here, and there's a real startling stat. It really puts it into perspective, too, that you told us. The typical family uses about 90 gallons of gasoline a month. It costs $414 a month, compared with about $100 a month during the many pandemic months. You talk about inflation. My goodness.
Yeah, it is really stiff inflation. And if you were to go to a California family, it's probably closer to $550. Back in the day, that was a mortgage payment or a tax payment. So it's, it's certainly impacting inflation for everything. And, diesel prices are even worse.
Yeah. Any reprieve anytime soon? And if so, why?
I think we're going to get a reprieve in June. Now, we're going to go up in the next few days and probably surpass $4.75 a gallon. We're looking at the end of futures trading for June here now, and there's a tremendous bias in the futures market where speculators are about 26 to 1 buyers outnumbering sellers. But I think typically history shows that you rise to a May peak and then you drop off about 15%. And that's in the futures price and the wholesale numbers. So that could be a little bit of relief or a respite in June. But unfortunately, anything goes in July and August this year.
Why haven't we had any help on the gas tax side, either from a federal level or an individual state level? That seems to me to be an obvious. Why aren't we seeing any of it?
Well, we're getting it on a state level. I think it was Georgia extended their state tax holiday, and we'll see some other states do that. And I am a little surprised that the Biden administration hasn't done that because it's easy and it's not as though it's an indefensible thing to sort of give people some relief and be perceived to be doing something about it. They've only got so many levers that they can really touch right now, but people want to see them do something, and I think they will.
Yeah, I mean, amazing, really, where the prices are. Tom, I appreciate your time.
And we have an interesting story here that President Biden might limit oil exports from the US going to other countries where, companies like BP, Shell, and Exxon actually take their oil that they, take from the United States and sell to other countries to lower US gasoline prices. Now, whether or not that'll do that or not, because remember, oil is a global product. But here's what the story says: Biden has released oil from the country's strategic petroleum reserves, but more steps may also be needed to bring down gasoline prices. The Biden administration is, quote, not taking anything off the table when it comes to lowering gasoline prices, and that could include limiting exports of oil and fuel products from the United States. This would mean basically not allowing these gas companies to sell it to other countries, which the gas companies do. Um, with a record gasoline price of 459, 460 here this week, Biden announced policies to try to reverse the increase, including by releasing oil from the country's strategic petroleum reserve. That slowed price increases because it has contributed to supply, but not really. But Biden may have to do more if he wants to reduce the price of gasoline and slow inflation in other products like diesel. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm told reporters here this week that, quote, I can confirm the president is not taking any tools off the table in response to a question on whether export restrictions are possible. The White House did not respond to a request for comment about whether the administration is planning to export restrictions. U.S. refiners are sending more gasoline and diesel than usual to other countries as they attempt to replace some of the supply no longer coming from Russia because of the sanctions. The surge in exports may have caused prices to rise more in the U.S. because refiners can choose to send their gasoline overseas instead of U.S. stations. There's now much less gasoline in storage than there usually is at this time of year, which should keep domestic prices higher for an extended period. Limiting exports would be controversial. The U.S. has only been exporting oil products for 6 years after President Obama signed a new law to allow it. The country now exports more than 8 million barrels of crude and products per day, while it consumes some 20 million barrels domestically. And the practice has helped refiners and domestic producers improve their financial results. Interesting. It has also allowed the US to help Europe reduce its dependence on Russian oil, which is a major thing right now. Tom Klauza, a global head of energy analyst at Oil Price Information Services, predicted in a recent interview that the U.S. export restrictions wouldn't target shipments to Europe, given that U.S. policy of isolating Russia, but could target shipments to places like South America. That might be good. Some analysts think export restrictions could cause ripple effects in the US energy markets, saying, quote, if export opportunities were shut off, these barrels would stay at home, likely leading to significantly rising inventories, weaker cracks, a measure of refining margins, and lower capture rates, giving additional renewable credit exposures. We note that other countries have recently employed similar measures to deal with rising prices, like Argentina, India, Malaysia, and Indonesia, halting exports of soybean oil, wheat, chicken, and palm oil, respectively. The other thing here is we have seen Congress mention several different times stimulus measures like giving money to people to help with inflation or gas prices. Congress has proposed at $300 a month here. You could see here some economists back new government aid as prices at the pump soar. So $300 per month would basically cover um, what the gas prices have soared here for the average family, or even more in some cases, some more or less. And this is something that government could do. We're seeing some states do types of plans like this with their state stimulus checks, their rebate checks, type of things like this coming from states. But we could see something like this from the federal government as well. Remember, the federal government has done stimulus check one, stimulus check two, stimulus check three, rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance, SNAP assistance, pandemic EBT assist, all these different, paycheck protection program, all these different programs from the federal government. So it's not unlikely that they couldn't do something like this for inflation assistance, because of how bad inflation is right now. And midterm elections are coming up. And, well, I don't know. I mean, literally, polls and approval ratings for Congress and the president are pretty much at historic lows. Congress's approval rating is just terrible. So, um, I don't know. Something needs to be done about inflation, which and gas prices and food prices, which are just out of this world. So, if it's during this time of need, if it's literally just helping people out, you let me know what you think needs to be done. Feel free to reach out to your elected officials, call them, email them, tweet them, let them know that we're just struggling right now. People in the low middle income brackets, people, on food assistance, people on fixed income right now are the people that are most struggling. So I will keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After you click the subscribe button down below, click the bell icon so you get notifications when we go live with new videos. You can click here to watch my newest video next, and you can click here to see my newest stimulus check video that goes over all the stimulus checks that have just been passed from multiple states. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.